Hello, Fairy Godmother Academy fans. Thank you so much for writing to me and blogging me at fairygodmotheracademy.com. We're in my studio in Austin, Texas because I want to tell you why I wrote the third book, Zally's book. Lots of girls ask me how I come up with the names for the characters, and Zally's story is very interesting. A friend of mine who is a Mayan named his baby Akhet Zally, which is a Mayan word for cool, clear water. I thought it was the most beautiful name I'd ever heard, and I vowed to write a book about a girl named Zally, which is short for Akhet Zally. Zally is an unknowing heiress to the Innocente's lineage. The Innocente's specialty is healing animals. Zally's grandmother and mother and all the aunts before them and all of the sisters before them all were healers of animals. This is the third lineage in the Fairy Godmother Academy saga. Zally Guevara is Guatemalan, and her family came from Guatemala about 10 years before. Zally's 12 years old, and she is all about the Guatemalan community in New York City. They own a bakery, and their bakery specializes in chocolate. And that sets up the story for Zally's family and how they come to be the keepers of the secret talisman of the Innocente's lineage, which is a magical cacao bean. I want to talk a little bit about what my inspiration was for writing this story. My best friend in the world is an archaeologist that specializes in Mayan culture, and she let me read every single book in her library of books to do her research on chocolate. And we used to have long talks about chocolate and the history of chocolate while she was making a film about chocolate. And as she talked about the facts of chocolate, I crafted the story of Zally and magical cacao bean. The Guevara family that lives near the bakery in New York City is a big, happy Guatemalan family that likes to eat together and dance in the house, and it's much like the Cuban family that I grew up with in Houston, Texas. My mom and my aunts and all of my cousins would come to the house and have Latin music and Latin food every weekend. So I wrote really about my own childhood when I was writing about this family. When Zally dreams her way into aventuring, she's met by Patchouli like the other girls in the other books. And she's given her mission like all the other girls. She's told that she's a part of the Innocente's lineage, and then she meets her two main sidekicks that go on the adventure with her. Prince Kir, who is a special horse from the Kib Valley, and a one-winged fairy named Amishi. They have to go on a journey to save Queen Carmina. Carmina is the healer of animals in their special land of the Kib Valley, and really they need Zally to help save them. So it really is not that different from the other books in that they all have adventures, but it's very different where they go. All of the lands of that part of adventuring really look like Guatemala, with ruins and jungles and animals that you might see, but the special versions of adventuring. In May of 2011, Lilu's book is going to come out. That is the fourth book in the Fairy Godmother Academy series. Lilu is an identical twin, and her family is from Africa. And her sister's name is Tandy. I hope you'll stick by and stand by and read that book. If you've been to fairygodmotheracademy.com, you've seen some of the fashions that we've created for these characters. You should go and play with those games. The games are all about changing the clothes on the different characters and see the costumes. You can see them in your mind's eye when you're reading, but it's really fun to see them in real time on the site as well. And behind me, you'll see that there are some real costumes that we've made that we use in our live shows whenever we do shows at schools or in libraries or in communities around the US.